Season 5 cup game between Nyx and Demagogue. And hopefully Jigoku hasn't bugged out on me and I will soon be put into the lobby here. We can have a quick look at the deck list for each participant. We see Nyxnyxnyx playing Scorpion, and he has a pretty standard Scorpion and Dragon list. We see nothing out of the ordinary. Plagiarist is not necessarily used all that much, but it's in my opinion, a good card. Only one Fate worse than Death, but 3 Way of the Scorpion, so he's pretty tuned to deal with Phoenix, honestly. Also 3 Cloud of Mind. I assume that's to deal with other problem cards that are cropping up now with the release of Disciples of the Void. However, of course, the lists are both pre-Disciples of the Void, but usually Scorpion is up on 3 Cloud of Minds now anyway, so it's good practice to keep that in mind while you trying to play out your list anyway. And we do see 3 Goblin Sneaks, which is a bit uncommon for Scorpion. I'm guessing that's to deal with Scorpion Mirror, to steal the fate necessary for enemy fate worse than death. And only 1 unassuming Yojimbo. And on the Demagogue side, we see Phoenix, and nothing really strange here. It seems very, very standard Phoenix. 3 display of power is a bit aggressive, but from what I see here, it's probably some sort of... It could be a Dishonor build, but it could also be just a regular Phoenix Smash build. And I'm going to quickly type them a message. Let's see. Watch. Hello? Alright, let's update the site and see if we get into the game now. Let's do a watch. It appears that I am, in fact, getting in, but whoops. We'll see what happens. Let's see if we can get Travis in here. So we're basically seeing if I can get in and actually stream the game. Last time I tried to stream the game, the entire lobby system of Jigoku broke down, so let's hope that doesn't happen again. And we'll just wait for everything to sort themselves out, I guess. Alright, I'm getting instructions from Mind's Desire. Alright. Alright, and we're going to, of course, promote our stream, because we can. Alright, let's just put in... Oh shit, that's not... Let's see, there we go. And now we're in the setup phase, and we're gonna do... No, that's not the right one. And let's see... Toggle full screen. Oh, that's the body. Wait. Alright! A lot of issues, and now we're into it. And we're gonna do full screen for now, and if we need to check out the deck list, we're gonna tab back out. So, hi and welcome everyone that just joined, because I linked late. It's Discord Season 5 Cup game between Nyx and Demagogue. Nyx is going to play Scorpion, and Demagogue is going to play Phoenix, and it's a top 4 game. And I'm going to quickly just pull up my chat on a different device so I can see if people are saying random shit about me. There we go. Everything should be good to go. So, I'm guessing... That's actually a very interesting point. Heinzel, this is for you. I'm guessing Demagogue actually took out Heinzel at some point. Maybe not in this cup? No, it must have been... Maybe in the LCQ. Let's see if Demagogue... I don't honestly know. Let's go back to the game. Maybe they had a grudge match. Demagogue and Heinzel, I don't know. I have been really busy lately, so I've been missing a lot of the cup games this time around. It doesn't appear that they have faced each other this cup, but maybe it's an old grudge. Or just Nyx dedicating this particular game to Heinzel because he likes Heinzel, or for whatever reason. Alright, let's see the opening flop. We see a Hiroe, Favored Niece, Liar, Liar. So I'm guessing Scorpion is probably just gonna buy a Liar and then pass. On the Phoenix side, on the other hand, we're gonna see we have a Solemn Scholar, a Meddling Mediator, and a Tsuki. So we're probably gonna see another purchase from the Phoenix player here, either a Tsuki or a Mediator, and probably the Scorpion player is just gonna pass the first thing that happens. Oh, right. So Heinzel says in chat that Nyx needs to win for Heinzel to get into the cup. So, yeah. I'm not sure we need more Scorpions in the cup, but it's good to have friends. That's always good. Heinzel, of course, is a very, very talented Scorpion player. So obviously, whatever people get into the invitational is just highly skilled players all around. But I think we have like a lot of Scorpions in there right now, so would be... I mean, some of the Scorpions have actually abandoned and gone Phoenix, but let's see what happens here. So, first attack from Demagogue. He goes in with Solemn Scholar for the Military Earthring and hits Shameful Display. This will probably force out a either a dropped-in character, possibly a... Oh, we see a Goblin Sneak. Otherwise, we could have seen, like... honestly, a Kachiko dropping in here is not such a bad idea. To have an Honored Kachiko early with a lot of Fate is very nice. We could have seen a lot of stuff, but this is probably the cheapest way when it comes to card expenditure, and it also brings benefits to Nyx because he steals a Fate from Demagogue, and means there's going to be no display of power on the back attack because he does not have enough money for it. Of course, display of power is very risky against Scorpion in general. And someone is typing in, I'm guessing that's Greek in my chat, and I have no idea what that is. So he's complaining about my tabs, I assume, but whatever, we can full screen this. And we do see Shameful Display firing here, and we have a very honorable Goblin Sneak, and we also have a Solemn Scholar that's dishonored. And we see a charge from Demagogue here, bringing in Tsuki into this conflict. And we see Demagogue saying he's usually charging Jakune, but whatever floats your boat, I guess. And this is actually something that's a bit unique for Nick's list. He actually runs 3 Fine Katanas and 3 Ornate Fans on top of 3 Clouded Mind, so it's a way more aggressive Scorpion build than we'd normally see with the Dragon Splash. Oh yeah, people calling me crazy tabs, but yeah, whatever, ignore that. It's just how I roll sometimes. Just have to live with that fact. Let's see. We do see a Way of the Scorpion on the Takatsuki, and Demagogue uses a Let Go on the Fine Katana. And then Nyx uses a Let Go to discard a Fire Katana for on the other side. So we do see a quick here. So a charge, a Let Go, and a Fine Katana has been expanded for a Way of the Scorpion, a Fine Katana, and Let Go. So card parity pretty much across the board. And now we see a political Void Ring at Public Forum with the Bayushi Liar against the Meddling Mediator. So the Meddling Mediator is probably not going to do anything this round. And the Bayushi Liar here, if nothing gets played here, the Bayushi Liar is simply going to win this conflict. And that means he's going to probably remove the Solemn Scholar here, or the Meddling Mediator. Anyway, we're gonna see the Phoenix players start dropping in honor fairly rapidly. And oh, that's a very nice move. So we do see a For Shame, and instead of bowing the Bayushi Liar, he chooses to dishonor it, and then we instantly see Isawa Moriseido increasing the glory of the Bayushi Liar. So he was actually down to 1 political skill there for a second, but Nyx realizes this and uses court games to re-honor Bayushi Liar. If Demagogue has a court game of his own here, that could mean that he has a very good chance of winning this conflict, because even dishonor this Meddling Mediator is on 2 skill then. Let's see what happens. And people are cheering for Demagogue in my chat. I'll make sure to let him know that, Marrow Fox John. Alright, so we see a assassination attempt from Demagogue, but it gets Forged Edict and dishonors the Bayushi Liar here. So the Bayushi Liar is yet again down to 1 skill compared to the 3 skill of the Mediator. And we see a policy debate between Mediator and Liar. And this is actually risky because Demagogue has to bid pretty high to guarantee winning this. And he does. He is super low on honor here. This is actually really dangerous for him. He's down to 4 honor, and he has 1 dishonored character leaving play at the end of this round, and potentially a 2nd character leaving play at the end of this round. So we do see On the Scorpion side, we see a Calling in Favors, Fury, and Way of the Scorpion, and Way of the Scorpion gets discarded. So that's interesting. Did the Scorpion not bid 5? Did I miss this? Nope, they both bid 5. Oh, you're right. The Goblin Snake is the 7th card. Yeah, that makes sense. And they both passed, and Void Ring did not trigger. Demagogue is down to 3 honor, and the only thing the Scorpion player has in play is a Goblin Snake, but he has a 14 fate against the 7 fate of the Phoenix player. And the Phoenix player flipped all big guys. This is very dangerous because actually, the Scorpion player might not smash a 5 bid here because he might just want to try and dishonor. And he did have a Fury and a Calling in Favors here, so could be interesting to see what's going on here. The Scorpion player could be trying a very sneaky 1 bid here, I guess. If he wants to go hard for the dishonor. But it's probably going to depend on what Demagogue buys, because if Demagogue buys something that he can easily just potato with another Way of the Scorpion or a Calling or a Fate Worse Than Death, and Demagogue doesn't buy anything, he passes instantly, and we just see the Scorpion buying a lot of dudes. Obviously scripted 1 bid. That's one way of putting it. Alright, so both players does indeed do a 1 bid, and we now go into the conflict phase, and we'll see what the Phoenix player can produce here. I'm guessing the Phoenix player has got to have at least a conflict character in hand, possibly like let's see actually what kind of conflict characters the Phoenix player can have. He has 3 Shrine Maidens, so he probably has a Shrine Maiden in hand. And we're probably we're gonna see this is probably gonna be a political attack because he's afraid of charge. And with Demagogue defending with both his defenders, I'm guessing must have missed something here. No, I did not miss something. I forgot he was on 4 honor, now he's down to 3. So we do see both players defending here, and that's just to keep the hero from pulling the other one in. And I think we're going to have to see a conflict character here from Demagogue. Otherwise, he's just going to... I mean, he's going to steal 1 honor with the mediator, but he's just going to go probably a military fire here and lose 1 for the dishonor and then dishonor another 1, so he's going to be net down 1. And he actually won the airing here, so he's down to 2 honor here. So he just needs to remove 1 more honor to win the game this round. Oh, we see an Against the Waves that unbows the Solemn Scholar, so he's going to have at least 1 attack. That's good for him. I would probably just take the firing out of the equation here, otherwise you lose. And we see a Water Ring on Pilgrimage with military. I think he's repping a charge. I think what it's trying to represent here is a charge. And he does have a charge, yeah. That makes perfect sense. And this Sakuni is going to firing and probably honor the mediator or re-honor the Solemn Scholar, and he's not going to bleed 2 honor this round. Luke saying this game is disgusting. I guess so. Uh, what would you use here as Tsukune at the end of the round? I'd probably use a Fire Ring and potentially an Earth Ring, because Earth Ring is going to probably force the Scorpion player to go high on bid at some point or just be destroyed. Because Scorpion without cards is not a good place to be. And we do see a policy debate, and we see a double one bid, and we see Calling in Favors, Cloud of Mind, Mirumoto's Fury, and Ornate Fan. So he can't Fury the Sukune because he has too much glory. So he still chooses to discard the Fury. That's too bad for Nyx. If Nyx had a charge, he could have brought in the Plagiarist and I guess Cloud the Mind on Tsukune. And we do see a water conflict, so he wins another Keeper Initiate, so he can do one conflict that's unopposed here on the Scorpion player. This is Demagogue is playing on the edge. Like he's teetering on the edge of every bad thing that could happen to him. And it is very interesting to see, because I would never be this comfortable at 2 honor versus a Scorpion. And we do see that's the Earth Ring triggered, so the Phoenix player has actually produced a pretty decent hand size advantage now, and considering they're both going to be bidding 1 every turn from now on, as far as I can tell, I think the Phoenix player is in a decent position. He's very liable to just the Scorpion player pulling Fate Worse Than Death or anything really hurtful here and just destroying him, but he has a decent Fate pool. This KD, if the Scorpion player doesn't get another Way of the Scorpion or his Fate Worse Than Death or any of his other Dishonor effects, this KD is going to be pretty useful, and it's going to be pretty hard to do anything about. It's going to be an interesting game if he can just live a couple more turns and establish a board here, Demagogue. And that's perhaps not exactly the things you want to see as Scorpion in this situation. I mean, the double storehouse is actually really nice, but I think you want a second character instead of the palace. And from Demagogue we see Tsukune, Peacekeeper, and another Solemn Scholar. I can't begin to tell you how I would play this turn as the Phoenix player, but I'd probably buy the Scholar and Tsukune. I don't know how safe I would consider Tsukune to be here, like, because if the Scorpion player pulls any sort of bad things, a court games, for shame, the third Way of the Scorpion, or the Fate Worse Than Death, I think that could be game. We'll see what happens. Eternal Mage says, the Scorp just flipped 3 holding and he's still favored. That's how ahead he was. Well, while true, it's also just diminished his lead quite significantly. And Travis says, Nyx is professional top decker. So Travis is in here, and obviously I must have missed a message on something on Discord, because I imagine he wanted to co-cast. I'm gonna have a very quick look. No, he has not messaged me. So I'm guessing if Travis wants to co-cast this, I don't think this game is going to exist for many more turns. But you're welcome to call me, and if I see it, I'll let you in. Alright, so we see both players buying one character with 3 fate, and now is the question, will Demagogue pass or will he buy another character? The thing is here, like, the Scorpion player could pull an assassination, and whatever he buys, if he buys it with extra fate, is just wasted money, because the Scorpion player has a lot of honor to just spend on stuff. And we do see the Solemn Scholar bought, but we don't see it bought with extra fate. So that's an important distinction. And yeah, people are discussing in chat whether drawing 2 cards with 2 storehouses offsets the 1 card every turn by Forgotten Library. I don't know, but like, you know, when both players are bidding 1, it's 1 card is 100% more card draw, as pointed out by Rudo in chat. And Nyx is actually going hard for the dishonor here. He's going to really try and make Demagogue work for it to get out of the honor hole. We'll see what happens. Keep in mind that Nyx does have double Cloud the Mind, so he just needs to see a Shugenya to completely neuter this Chiba Sukune. Well, Eternal Mage, it's 200% more cards, but you also got to keep in mind that Forgotten Library is a card every turn. So this turn he's drawing 1 card more than Demo. It doesn't matter. Whoops, that was interesting. Let's see. We have a Solemn Scholar, of course, going for. I think he's going to poke Earth here and Meditations. And Nyx says, "Fight me at Shameful if you got balls." I don't think Demagogue wants to lose, because that's a certain way to lose in this situation. Also, a certain way to lose is to go into Secret Cache. So, in all honesty here, if I am Nyx, I'd probably try and let both Meditations and Pilgrimage get broken and force Demagogue to each turn either have to go into Secret Cache or Shameful Display, because that would probably be a quick way to just die. And this is a military fire conflict, and I'm guessing that this fire conflict is not gonna mean much to Nyx here, because he's just gonna rumor monger and transfer the honor to whatever it's the worst for Demagogue. I imagine he's just gonna honor the Solemn Scholar. Sure, he gains 1 honor, but gaining 1 honor in this situation is still very close to being on the edge of just getting slammed out, dishonored. And we see a policy debate, and we see a 1 bid to 1 bid, and we have a court games, let go, Fury, Fury, and Ornate Fan. And we see a court games discarded, and this tells Nyx here that whatever he does when attacking is not going to work, because Mirumoto's Fury is just going to stomp him. Yeah, he went fire. So the rumor monger is just gonna transfer this firing. If he manages to win this combat with the Solemn Scholar, he's just gonna transfer the firing to whatever. And I think Nyx is going to have to go air back and just accept the loss and pull in the Sukune with the Hirue, and just let it be like that, because otherwise Sukune is just gonna fire off the air ring at the end of the round anyway, and you don't want that. Ideally here as well, if you win this conflict as the young rumor monger, which it seems like he is going to do because there's not much Demagogue can do about this. You're going to be tied on rings, and that means you're going to keep the favor as well, which is going to be potentially pretty big. Also, if he has a for shame, he can win this conflict. He can go in with Hirui. Even if he gets furied, he still has the political favor. Can pull in Sukune and for shame. And if she dishonors, well, she's a 0. And if she bows, well, she's a 0. And that means he's going to potentially just win this airing. And even if she doesn't dishonor from the for shame, then if he pulled her in, that would have been a dishonor when he wins in the end anyway. Alright, let's see. Does he have a for shame or indeed a court games? Or a fate worse than death? A fate worse than death actually wins the game here. Oh! We see a way of the Scorpion. And that's probably... I think he has to pull in the Solemn Scholar here. Why? Why is this GG? Alright, Fan calling in favors. And he pulls in the Solemn Scholar. And dishonor the Solemn Scholar. And then airing. And that's going to be it. Wow. Yeah, so they're discussing in chat here that the forbidden debate was the thing that lost the game. It's probably true. In that situation, I'd honestly... Well, if he'd had the debate and did the ballsy 1-1 and still won the debate, I think Demagogue would have been in a really good situation here. Godly double storehouse flip. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Alright, so a very quick game, a very interesting game, very volatile. Yeah, it was going to take Demagogue several turns to get back into this game, but I think he had a decent chance if he didn't die this turn. If he just managed to basically get Sukune off at some point for an airing, and he's pretty much back in this game. So obviously, Demagogue has way bigger balls than I do. I would never ever have wanted to go this low against the Scorp unless I felt I actually had to. That overbid on that policy debate was really risky, and I mean, it looked for a while that he could take it back. Like with a library in play, you can potentially just double draw what the opponent draws every turn, and you can claw your way back out of the dishonor hole. Sukune is a very decent chance of clawing, like any turn that's not just fire air, and you get to trigger one of them, and you start to get out of that hole pretty quickly. It's a very cool game, very cool game. So yeah, I'm guessing that I mean, Phoenix pre Disciples of the Void always has a tough time against Scorp, but it's so dangerous to go low on honor here, and Scorpion just manhandles pre Disciples of the Void Phoenix generally, and Nyx actually had a slightly less controlly and more aggressive build with a lot more attachments, but in the end, it didn't matter really. And people are perhaps getting a little bit too into it in chat. I don't think calling Nyx names is a good thing. It's fine and dandy if you cheer for your man, but don't go name calling the opponent. Alright. So, the real fat man, unless you sort of like take it down a notch, I'm going to have to time you out. Because it's getting a bit too much right now. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. I'm just going to stop this stream right now, and it was a very fast game, a very volatile game, and hopefully we'll get to see a very interesting finals. Tomorrow I think they're playing the finals, so yeah, people should definitely try and catch that. And that's it. Thanks for me.